Hi, Susan. I'm propped up in the day bed on my heating pad. It's cold. How are you today? There's nothing going on. I just wanted to check in. Hadn't been over here for a while. So I wanted to pop on and say hi. It is a beautiful, good, Susan. It's a beautiful sunny winter's day here. The sun fooled me earlier. I stepped out to walk Rags the rescued dog, not realizing that there was a bit of a chill wind coming out of the north. So I had to go redress. Hi, AC. Hi, Patty. My hair is what we used to call flyaway today. I just washed it and I can't do anything with it, so I apologize for the flyaway hair. Anyway, so as the title says, just checking in. Miss you guys. Hadn't been over here. And the boss just got back, 30 minutes or so ago from doing our grocery shopping, and I got them all put away. Took Rags for a nice walk and gave her a begging strip. And so she's all snuggled up in her kennel. And we are in here in my office, and believe it or not, hi, Candy. So far, the 4 Kraken cats are at ease. Hi, Carrie. Although something just got Summer's attention. I have a book that I'm going to risk. Carrie, honey, since you're here, if you can find a little copyright disclaimer here in a little while to drop into the chat. And then, of course, I'll verbally give one. But I want to read, hi, Victoria, on this sunny but very cold winter's day in Arkansas, a poem from one of my favorite poets from my generation, Rod McKuen. Hi, Anne. And it's from, obviously, Listen to the Warm. Rod McKuen, and pardon the tape, but the book is very old. I'm not promoting the book, but I do want to give proper credit. Thank you so much, Carrie. Perfect. Perfect. This is going to fall under entertainment and something else on that list. But anyway, pardon the tape. A cat did that. Cat didn't put the tape on. A cat caused me to put a tape on. But the book is published by Random House Incorporated, and the photo credit of Rod McKuen, the poet and songwriter, by the way, goes to Edward Habib. The original copyright is 1966. Very few short years, very, very few before I graduated high school. Oh, I beg your pardon. The original copyright is 1963. Updated again in 64, 65, 66, 67. And all rights let's see, I want to do it properly. All rights reserved under international and Pan-American copyright conventions. Published in New York by Random House Incorporated and simultaneously in Toronto, Canada by Random House of Canada Limited. This particular book is the 12th printing. Hi, Teresa. The prologue of this book is one of my favorite poems by Rod McKuen. I have a cracking cat acting like he wants to jump up here and knock my phone over. It is appropriately titled Under Fair Use, Section 107. Copyright disclaimer. A cat named Sloopy. Hang on, Sloopy. Sloopy, hang on. So let's snuggle in for less than 5 minutes, I would say. Maybe even only a couple. Hi, all Winflow. From Listen to the Warm by Rod McKuen, published by Random House Incorporated, 1963, 1967. A cat named Sloopy. For a while, the only earth that Sloopy knew was in her sandbox. 2 rooms on 55th Street were her domain. Every night, she'd sit in the window among the avocado plants, waiting for me to come home. My arms full of canned liver and love. We'd talk into the night, then contented but missing something. She, the earth she never knew. Me, the hills I ran while growing bent. Sloopy should have been a cowboy's cat with prairies to run, not linoleum. And real live catnip mice. No one to depend on but herself. I never told her, but in my mind, I was a midnight cowboy even then, riding my imaginary horse down 42nd Street, going off with strangers to live an hour-long cowboy's life, but always coming home to Sloopy, who loved me best. A dozen summers we lived against the world, an island on an island, and she'd comfort me with purring. I'd fatten her with smiles. We grew rich on trust, needing not the beach or butterflies. I had a friend named Ben who painted buildings like, well, this poem is a bit risque, so let me amend and just say, like certain men, he went away. My laughter tired Lillian after a time. She found a man who only smiled, only Sloopy, stayed and stayed. Winter, 1959. Old men walk their dogs. Some are walked so often that their feet leave little pink tracks in the soft gray snow. Women fur on fur, elegant and easy, only slightly pure, hailing cabs to take them round the block and back. Who is not a love seeker when December comes? Even children pray to Santa Claus. I had my own love, safe at home, and yet I stayed out all night, one night, and the next day too. They must have thought me crazy, screaming, "Sloopy! Sloopy!" as the snow came falling down around me. I was a madman. To have stayed gone so long. To have stayed away 1 minute more than the appointed hour. I'd like to think a golden cowboy snatched her from the windowsill. Safely saddle bagged, she rode to Arizona. She's stalking lizards in the cactus now, perhaps bitter but free. I'm bitter too, not a free man anymore. Once was a time in New York's jungle in a tree. Before I went into the world in search of other kinds of love. Nobody owned me but a cat named Slippy. Looking back, perhaps she's been the only human being that ever gave love back to me. A cat named Sloopy from Listen to the Warm by Rod McKuen. I realized that there were a couple of risque parts there, but I would ask you to keep in mind that in that time, 1960s, my generation, we were testing the waters. So thank you for letting me get away with that. Thanks, Ocean Tide. Hi. I, of course, don't read poetry well. I think that's quite obvious. And I certainly cannot read it the way Mr. McKuen himself would recite his own poetry. One of my favorite recordings, Ah, When Your Mama Loves Him. And I don't know whatever happened to it. I think it was a double, I'm sure it was at least a double album set. It may have been a triple album set of LPs, records. Maybe some of you remember what those are. And it was Rod McKuen live at Carnegie Hall, reciting his own poetry and singing his own songs. And it's one of those things, hi Grammy B, that if I could ever lay my hands on it in a medium that could now be played, I don't know, I guess maybe, hi Poppy Red Mustang, I'll Google it one of these days, maybe later today. Because if it's like on YouTube or the internet somewhere that I can access, be a nice thing to take my afternoon nap to, which I'm approaching. And here comes the Kraken Cat. Hey, Kraken Cat, it's Utah. When Flow, you guys had that LP. I loved it. Loved it. Oh, Harry Belafonte. Absolutely. Absolutely. But as you can see, right now, Utah is the only prowling Kraken cat. Who have we here? If Utah would quit bumping me, would you move? I think I see a pink bell. So that would be Summer Lucille. Where's everybody? Lady Opal Moon and Utah. Grammy B, it's very sunny, as you can see out the window here in Arkansas as well. But there is a chill breeze blowing. Carrie Bishop, you've been a member for 8 months. Wow. Kraken Cat. Where? Ah. Too dark, I know. But there's wells up there on top of a... Would you stop? Stop. I'm trying to show everybody your brother. And every time I go from one place to another, Utah follows and starts, the phone is in the tripod and the legs are extended and he rubs on the legs of the tripod. But anyway, all the way up in there, in that dark corner, is Wells. So, guys, I know it's short and sweet. Well, I'm not sure how sweet, but there's really nothing to report. Everybody's doing extremely well. Um, 9 lives, Mama. I saw the 7 months and started to say 7 lives, Mama. Hi, Deb. Hi, Reese Cup. Well, Deb, honey, at least since it's short, all I did was read a poem from my youth by Rod McKuen, a cat named Sloopy. Anyway, uh, somebody's been over here. I am forever having to straighten things up, forever. But, uh, I everything's good. Um, I can e-bake, try to stretch it out to 30 minutes at least. Let's go back here. If you don't get out from under mommy's feet, no, sir. No, you, Mr. Man, are not, no, sir. Nope. You come away from that door right now. Let me try this again. I made it. Okay, in the world of e-bagging for cat rescue, there's Wang Chang Cheetah Burrito. Is that right, sir? Wang Chang Cheetah Burrito. How are you? He's trying to grab some of that sunlight. I'll get to the e-bagging here in a second. There's Deuce McKenzie, Willow Wisp, and Julie Newmar. Got the kennel back here again and set back up, not set back up, set up for the kitty cats again to have their place in the morning sun. Hi, Kiki Eyes. This wonderful fountain that was sent by, I'm pretty sure, Cotton Candy Boobs. She sent it for Rags. Well, right on the box and then on the setup instructions, it said for indoor use only. So it has become a water fountain for the indoor kitties, an extra fountain. Okay, now you guys know we're in the, not only the laundry room, but the kitty cat supply room. Okay, so here comes the e-bagging part for anybody who can, wants to, but please do not feel compelled. Okay, but if you can, go check out the Amazon wish list or any source that you use if you would like to send dry cat food, dry dog food, cat food, canned cat food, canned dog food, and or clumping cat litter. There's an Amazon wish list. I need to go over probably and update it. There are also some frivolous items on there because once in a while there are viewers there that are like, you know what, I just want to get something, or something of your choosing. Okay, so, but yes, bless you, Bob. Right now, that's all the dry cat food I have. That'll last about a week. Of course, we're fine. I want everybody to understand. When I do this, it's not because we can't afford to go buy it. It's because we're a cat rescue and not a dog rescue, and people have asked for an Amazon wish list. Therefore, there is one. So I'm bringing it up because of that. Okay. Dry dog food. That's a couple of weeks worth there. But as you guys can see, where I usually have the bags stacked up that you guys send, there are 0 bags. The boss bought the wet cat food. I bought the wet dog food. We've used up everything that you guys have sent. And we bought our own litter. And that will last me for several more days. Now, here again. We have no problem at all going and buying those things ourselves. That's why I feel weird calling it e-begging, because we're not beggars. But there are folks that like to help out. So, hi, Crime Creepy. So if you are one of the kids out there that's like, I like to help them out, that's what we need. Okay? Check out the wish list. So, well, since the boss is home, oh, there's pretty patty patches. Mew. Pretty patty patches. We're live on Furry Feline Monsters of Mass Destruction. By the way, folks, hi. If you're new, hi, Not a Drama Nana. If you're out there and you are new, welcome to Furry Feline Monsters of Mass Destruction. My name is Susan. My hubby's name is Bob, but we call him the boss. And I'm sorry he's blowing his nose. Thank you, AC, for your super sticker, honey. Thank you, darling. Honey, you're live on YouTube. Are you snotty?
Sneezy.
He's sneezy and snotty, guys, so we're not gonna embarrass him or anything by keeping him on. But real quickly, I'll just show you right here real quick is Dewey, and I'm speaking more loudly for the usual reason, because there's copyrighted material playing on the TV behind me. And so I'm trying to confuse the robots. I'm trying to confuse the YouTube robots. So there we are, 29 minutes and 31 seconds on my counter. Hi, Not Crazy. So that's about it. A poem and an e-bag and a check-in to let you know, other than the fact that the boss, as you guys know, works in the lumber yard. And it's been so wintry here, bless his heart, that he's, yeah. I'll keep an eye on him. We'll make sure he's fine. I'm not going to take you out because I want to go ahead and end it. I'm not going to take you out and because it's cold and I'm not dressed. I've got leggings on. But I did want to let you know that last week, Mr. Grayson was gone for a little over 24 hours. By last week, what's today, Sunday? I mean, like Wednesday, okay? He came home. I noticed he was having trouble getting up, jumping up. Not crazy. He's doing okay, honey. Thank you. He's still like a little bit here and there, but he's pretty good. Thank you for asking. I tried to check him out and he didn't want me to. So for the past several days, let me sit this down because it's kind of getting hard to hold. Let me sit you down. Hang on, I'm sorry. I know I said I was going to end it, but then I remembered that I wanted to tell you about Mr. Grayson. Now you've got sunlight glare. Trying to get rid of all that glare so it's not. So I took the beanbag bed and put it down on the front porch, like on the concrete of the front porch, in a place where the sun hits it as soon as the sun is coming up and around, so that he didn't have to try to get into his habitat, which requires him to jump up and then go down and in, to stay warm. It worked great. Before I started the live, right after I walked Rags, he's able to jump up now, by the way, but I could never, until day before yesterday, or it may have been yesterday morning, get a bead on this place I had seen on his left side, closer to his hip than to, closer to the back than to the front. But anyway, it's hard to describe. But I had noticed that he had a place like where the fur seemed to be missing. Thank you, Crime Creepy, for £5. I may need to take him in for stitches because, as I mentioned, right before I started, I'd walked Rags and I was coming in to get around and start this live stream. Hi, Rosemary. And he's laying in the beanbag. Well, I don't know, not crazy, but he has now, as cats will do, after these several days or a couple of days, whichever it is, he has licked and cleaned where that weird place was with his fur. So now I can see, especially because of the way he was laying as I was walking by to come inside. He actually has a wound that I'm not good with measurement, but I'm going to say maybe 2 inches long, that appears to be healing from either end, as wounds will do, but there's no festering, no infection. There's no oozing, no redness, no swelling, but the wound itself is open. So I think probably tomorrow I will call Dr. Sarton, and what I will do, yeah, I'm not crazy. Those are all signs. And because, see, he was gone for, it was like he was here regular and everything was fine. Then whatever evening it was, I'm like, oh, Mr. Grayson isn't here. And because he's an outdoor rescue, I wasn't overly concerned. I took note, okay? And, but without being overly concerned, I was like, okay, he'll come to eat. Then the next morning at feeding time, he wasn't there. I was like, okay, this is, He was gone all that day and the next night. Then the next morning at feeding time, he's there, but he's like, don't touch me, and limping. Now I pet him, when I go by, I pet him on the head and whatnot. He can jump up into the Adirondack lounger on the front porch with the beanbag in it. Hi, Yorkshire. And he's taking very good care of himself. He's doing proper wound cleaning like a cat does. And I am will be keeping a very close eye on it now. Now I have antibiotics for felines. But I think what I'm going to do I think what I should do and will do Yeah, I want the art to touch. See, I know. And it's been almost a week, including the days he was gone. So, and that's why I don't know what happened. Hi, Mohawk Mom. Because it didn't happen here. Wherever he was. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a good picture of it and email it to Dr. Sarton tomorrow morning. And I know Yorkshire. And, if necessary, I'll ask Dr. Sarton to make a house call and bring suture. And although I think for sutures, they have to be, hi Seal, do you guys know? Because would he have to be, he'll have to be sedated if he has to have stitches. That means office call. Well, I'll find out. But because there's no sign of infection at all, I'm not, like, Yeah, Seal, like a local anesthetic, but they still have to restrain the cat, I mean, I've never stayed in surgery when one of the cats has had surgery. But Regs is, in other news, Regs is doing wonderfully. We adore one another. We generally, not always, but more often than not, our practice is to be out walking right before it's time for the boss to come home. She hears his little truck. I'm pretty sure I know for a fact he's at least 3 blocks away. But the way she starts acting, I think she hears him when he's further away. Like maybe when he turns off of Main Street onto 11th. And she looks up at me and I go, okay. And we walk from where we are, start walking in the right direction. High down under with love. And the way the yard is and the neighborhood is, as he's traveling west to make his turn onto our street to come south, we can see him through the neighbor's backyard coming down the street. And when she sees that truck, it's Katie barred the door. I'm sure to have my running shoes on, because from that moment on, we're going to be jogging and pacing the boss's pickup truck coming down the road. She knows when he's going to turn into the driveway, so she sits down beside me. And the minute, and she has a growl It's not a growl, it's a rumble, and it's only for him. I have never heard her do it under any other set of circumstances other than him pulling into the driveway, and he hasn't opened the door to the truck yet. And it's down in here. I can't replicate it, but it's like a love. It's like, I can't do it, but it's low and deep and rumbly. And I've been with her when she's barked, when she's growled at the tree trimmers, which I was glad. I mean, she didn't like, she just sat down beside me and she noticed they were up the block and she growled. And I reassured her that it was okay. I know Oceantide. We run all that way. Then we run this way to the driveway. She sits down. She does that, which I can't do. And check the spray out. Crime Creepy, thank you. Excuse me, I've got a little bit of an itch. And we got to get off of here. I said 13 minutes ago I was going to say goodbye. Yeah, get out of the truck, Dad. So to finish that out, and then we'll say goodbye. She's sitting down. Seal, thank you for joining Angel Cats. She's sitting down, but that tail is just thump, 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 thump. She's twerking. She twerks. And the minute he opens that driver's door, she's just, come on and get out. Come on and get out. Hurry up and get out. Get out. Excuse me. Then it's on. Hang on. That's what will happen if you try to growl like a great big dog. You get a place in your throat that's like, ah. But yeah. And she knows now to not jump up on him. He gets out and she's sitting there and he'll say, okay. Or he gives her, I can't remember what he says. Oh, come on, girl. Come on, girl. And then she's all about it. And I'll have treats already in my pocket. I hand him the treats. They have their welcome home. I'm so glad to see you. And then she goes right into the kennel and there you go. So it's all going well. I haven't advanced with her actual official kind of like obedience training that I should have already have been doing because our weather, guys. I'm old. It's winter in Arkansas. Hi, Tammy T. Yeah, she loves her family. And I know that you guys understand more than I. Many of you understand much more than I do. That consistency is very, very important when it comes to obedience training for a canine. And because of the weather and certain things with me that we don't even need to talk about here, that has been something I put on the back burner with some trepidation. because it was the wisest choice for me as an old lady with MS and all that malarkey. Okay, so thank you everybody for coming over for hi, how are you doing? Pretty much no content other than to remind you, if you came in late at the beginning of today's live stream, under fair use, section 107 of copyright law, I read a rather risque poem from my generation, the 1960s, from my favorite poet, McKuen, from a collection titled Listen to the Warm, published by Random House, New York. So, welcome to new members. The only perks you really get over here are the emojis, custom emojis for members. So please feel free to use them. Even the one that is little old man, we're going to keep it, even though he's no longer with us. We're going to keep the little old man emoji in his honor. And here's Utah coming to say goodbye. And congratulations to those of you who had anniversary membership badges today. And please do check out the Amazon wish list if you can afford to and feel like you want to. Help us out. And almost knocked it out of the holder. And we've got the Cash App and the PayPal. So, all right then. So, please remember to spay and neuter your fur babies. Keep their annual checkups and all their shots up to date. Please remember to be kind to wildlife. They're not encroaching on our habitat. We're encroaching on theirs. And they can use all the help wildlife can, that they can get from us within the proper parameters and guidelines. And you know, I'm going to remind you the thing that is the very most important to me personally. I'm going to ask you to do me the personal favor of being kind one to another. Because you see, it's not going to cost you one thin dime, and it's not going to hurt you one single bit. And the really cool thing is it's going to come back to you tenfold when you are very least expecting it. But somehow or another, the universe knows you need it the very most. So, what's new, pussycats? Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, Whiskers. We love you. Bye from Susan, the boss, all 19 feline rescues, and Rags the rescued dog. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye. We love you. Bye-bye.